All right, so like pretty much every guy, I had a catastrophic fear of approaching women. I would almost imagine myself going up to a girl and getting kicked in the nuts, or maybe walking up to a girl and a bunch of FBI agents jump out of the bushes and tackle me and bring me to jail. That's how much I feared approaching women. You know, it's sort of this irrational fear. Over time, I fell in love with the art of cold approaching. It got to the point where my friends noticed the change that I had and they started asking me for advice like, Joseph, how can I get better with women? And these days, I help all sorts of guys out with their game. This is my passion in life. I really enjoy doing this. This is my specialty. But I didn't always like cold approaching. I actually hated it. I was a super shy kid in middle school who didn't talk to any girls at school. I would see the popular kids with their hot girlfriends, and I was super jealous, and it made me feel bad about myself. Like, why couldn't I be that guy? Why couldn't I be confident with women and have a hot girlfriend? So back then, my only dating strategy was to add a girl on Snapchat and try to send them half pictures of my face with my jawline with a bunch of winking face emojis. But I would never go up to a girl at school. I would always have that proxy of a phone where I didn't have to really talk to the girl in person at first. I could sort of warm her up by having this intermediary device. And that was pretty pathetic. So didn't have much success in middle school, didn't have much success in high school or college. And it kind of made me feel like less of a man, honestly. Seeing a girl walk past and not having the courage to go say hi, yet at the same time not having a girlfriend and wanting one, it made me feel like less of a man. Why was I not able to do this? Why was I afraid of a girl who's smaller than me, cannot beat me up, and it's just not really, it's just a girl. Like, why am I afraid of a girl? I should be able to do this. So I decided to make this change in my life, and I tricked my brain into loving cold approaching. So in the beginning, when I first began this journey of cold approaching, I was in sort of a low place in my life where I was working a job that I absolutely hated. I was really sort of sad and insecure about myself. And so all of this negative emotions really crystallized. And when I went up to a girl, all these negative emotions, they manifested themselves in me being very serious with the girl, viewing this task with a lot of tension and seriousness. So I wasn't having any sort of fun with my approaches. And so girls were tense because I was tense. They were nervous to be around me probably because I was super serious. And obviously I wasn't getting much success by doing it this way. And I knew I had to do something differently. So I saw guys online. I started to do a bit of research on this. I saw guys online doing it. And then I sort of observed guys at the bar who seemed to have hot girlfriends and just like look at what their vibe was, what they were doing. And I noticed they were having a lot of fun. So I had to discover how I could have fun. And I learned some of the ways that I could just amuse myself when talking to women. So what I do a lot when I talk to women is I'll go up to them. I don't do this every time, but this is one of the ways that I sort of amuse myself, is I will make up some random fantasy story with the girl and try to convince them of this like really thought out story. So, for example, I might be talking to a girl and I might be like, did you see that? Did you hear about that UFO abduction that happened yesterday? Wait, you didn't see that? It was on the news everywhere. There was this girl that got abducted by a UFO and they dropped her off on top of the Walmart. She reported this everywhere and wait, you actually didn't see that? Or I might tell them about a pterodactyl sighting that happened or a Bigfoot sighting or something ridiculous. And this is just fun for me. This is just me having fun rather than me going up to the girl having this whole list of items that I need to logically tell her about myself to convince her that I'm an attractive guy. Rather, I'm just being sort of an attractive guy by having fun. Because what does that show when you're having fun? Well, other than giving the girl a playful emotions, making her feel girly and youthful, but it shows that I must be at least having some sort of like enjoyment in my life that she's gonna want to come along and join along with. So some other ways that I have fun is just flirting. I find it enjoyable to have that man to woman connection with the girl. That's enjoyable to me because it's sexual, right? So joking around with the girl, messing with the girl, role playing with the girl, made up scenarios, saying risky things. These are all ways that I started to have fun. And there's no way that you can do this sustainably and get really good with women if you're not having fun. If you're just this super serious guy, then you're just gonna quit because it's just like going to a job at that point. Why would you do it? And so that's the first thing I did. The second thing that I had to do was I had to reframe negative outcomes in the approach. Because when I used to get rejected with a girl, I was super butthurt when a girl used to reject me or an approach didn't go my way. I wouldn't only get butthurt when a girl rejected me, but I would get butthurt just for being super nervous and awkward. But with the girl, I would get butthurt when she rejected me. I would almost be like passive aggressive, like, all right, have a good day. And I didn't like that. So instead of, and then when that would happen, I wouldn't want to approach anymore when a girl rejected me. I didn't want to go sort of stick my neck out and hurt my ego anymore. The way that I changed it, the way that I reframed it was viewing every single approach as a win. Rather than viewing the outcome of the approach, rather than being emotionally attached to the outcome of the approach. Because at the end of the day, guys, there are some women that genuinely have a boyfriend that they've been dating for years. There are some women that are genuinely imbeciles. Like I approached this girl the other day and she could not like look up from her phone at all. She was almost using it as like a safety mechanism where she would just pull out her phone and just like look at it and then look up to me. I was like, oh man, they are fried in that in Generation Z. So that's gonna happen. So instead of feeling bad, I feel good that I made the effort to approach. Every single approach is a win. Every single approach is an investment in yourself, in getting better. You can think of it like every single approach is like a coin that you put in the jar, and it's just building and building over time until you have this full jar. Except with a coin jar, you can only spend this money one time, then it's gone. But with your approach coin jar, this is something that you just have. You just become an attractive guy who is successful with women over time. It doesn't go away like a coin jar, and it just keeps adding it up. It's also just like a video game. So I used to play this game on Minecraft called Factions. And over time your level would just increase on the online server. And so you can, if you're like a gamer or you're a gamer in the past, I actually don't play any video games anymore, but you can think of it as leveling up. Every single approach, you're leveling up your character and legitimately becoming more confident, just a more attractive man. And I fell in love with that sort of way of investing in myself and knowing that I'm doing something that down the road, you know, I'm gonna become really good. That's what I was thinking at the time. I'm doing something that I'm gonna blow past 95% of guys, especially if you do this for, you know, a couple months, a few months, but then keep going for years. You're in the top, I mean, you're in like top 3% when it comes to being good with women. And so I wanted to start that out early in my life and not miss out on that. And so the next way that I tricked my brain to falling in love with cold approaching is I had to change my identity. I had to make my identity someone who is getting better with women, someone who cold approaches women. So it's because when you have an identity, you act in accordance to that identity. So let's say I'm a girl who views herself as really environmentally friendly. I'm just a girl who's saving the environment, right? I'm going to act in accordance with that. So I'm going to recycle. I might volunteer to pick up trash. I might complain about carbon emissions because that's my identity. That's sort of also a part of my tribe. That's who I view myself to be. So I need to act in accordance with that. But if I view myself as somebody who's just not able to get better with women, I'm just stuck like this for life, there's no help for me, then I'm not going to take the actions and actually talk to women and want to get better. I'm just gonna give up. I'm gonna be one of those guys on the internet. I think they call them like black pill or something. I don't know. These are weird people. It's a weird place, the internet. I don't recommend using it. Don't click off this video right now. But so I had to change my identity and say, okay, I am just somebody that cold approaches. I am just somebody that does this. And I had to make it a way of life. I had to make it a part of my daily and weekly schedule. And one of the ways that I did that is by keeping a small journal and writing down, you know, whenever I had a day game session where I go out in public and I talk to a bunch of women, or a night game session where I go out with a buddy to the bar and I socialize and work on my skills and I pull. So I write that down and I know for a fact that I'm making progress. I know for a fact that I'm doing what I need to do because I'm writing it down, essentially. And then another way I made it a part of my identity was by keeping another journal where I write down what I did well and what I did wrong that day in approaching women. So in the section of what I did right, I might say, you did a good job flirting with that girl, being physical off the jump with that girl. You had a good frame. You did well passing all those shit tests. And then in the negative side, I might write, okay, you probably shouldn't have made that racist joke at that time when you literally just met that girl. Okay, you probably shouldn't have been such a dick to her friend also. Then I write that down. So this is just a part of my identity. And it's not something that I forget about this, or I watch a couple YouTube videos about this and I don't do it. No, it's just a way of life. Like I talk to women. So that's the third thing that I did. The fourth thing that I did is, well, so when I first started thinking about cold approaching, or when I first started cold approaching, it felt kind of creepy to me. And I think it's because of the way the word approach is framed, or I think it's because of the definition of the word approach. What approach means, it means to, talk to somebody for the first time, usually with a proposal or request. And so who goes up to somebody with a proposal or a request? Usually it's someone who needs something, right? So it would be like a salesman, or, maybe somebody like a Jehovah's Witness knocking on your door, like, I need you. But I don't like that frame going into it. Because it makes you seem sort of creepy, like, I need this girl. And I don't need this girl. So, and I'm not selling myself to a girl either. Actually, I'm gonna get her to sell herself to me through certain qualification tactics that I teach guys about. By the way, guys, if you want to improve your dating life much quicker and work with me directly so that I can help you really uncover some of the things that you're doing wrong, and I also have a structured system for approaching women, then just go ahead and book a call with me. I'm gonna put the link in the description. We'll see if it's a good fit or not, and if that's good for you at this point that you're at in your life. But so yeah, I had to reframe what it was to approach women. What approaching women, the way that I think about it is it's just meeting women. I don't have all this pressure on myself that I need to do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And of course I have a structure of how to attract women, right? But I'm not planning out the exact words that I'm gonna say to the girl when I see her. I just think to myself, okay, I'm gonna go meet this girl. And that's it. So it takes a lot of the pressure off. It's a lot more normal than viewing it as, okay, I'm going out to cold approach, even though that's the best words we really have for it, right? So that's the next thing I did. The next thing that I did to really trick my brain into loving cold approach was I greatly reduced the amount of times that I jack off every month. So when you're jacking off every single day, first of all, what is the purpose of jacking off? So the purpose of jacking off, it's to satisfy a biological desire, a biological drive that you have. I need to impregnate a girl. I need to go out and do these things. I need to go kill an animal in the wild, bring it back so I can bring it back to the tribe, and then maybe get a girl so I can replicate and my species lives on. But when you're jacking off, you're just satisfying that biological drive. You're just cutting it off. It's almost like you're tricking yourself to think you have a girlfriend, but you don't. And so when you release constantly, and I'm not even saying like, guys, never do it once, never ever do it. But when you're doing constantly, you have so much less motivation to go to the bar. You have so much less motivation to go meet women. Because, all right, so we have this monkey part of our brain that wants to propel us forward, to do things like eat food, to get sleep, to meet women. These are all things that are a part of our, animal, more part of our brain. But if we release, then all we can rely on is the logical part of our brain. The part of our brain that knows that we should do something and has to logically convince ourselves to go out and to go meet that woman. Why not use both parts of the brain? So that's why it really helps to greatly reduce the amount of times that you jack off. And I think it really helps you in the interaction with the girl. It makes you more able to express yourself and create a man to woman sexually charged conversation, rather than if not, and you're just like, hey, what's up? Oh, I just jacked off 20 times today. And if you don't masturbate, this is the last thing I'm gonna say on this, but you just have so much more motivation to go cold approach women. And finally, see, all of these tricks are really good. I think that having fun is essential. Viewing every single approach as a win, changing your identity, you know, things like this are all really great. But the major thing that's gonna propel you forward and trick your brain into loving cold approach. Oh, this bird will not shut the fuck up. Oh, it flew away, okay. It's when you start getting results with women. So at first, you're gonna be a bit nervous. You're gonna be a bit awkward, okay? But then you're gonna have an approach where you notice that the girl is actually attracted to you. You're gonna notice that you have influence over this girl. She's attracted to you. She's trying to impress you. And then she gives you her number. And then you're gonna have a time where you actually get a girlfriend or you actually pull a girl from an approach. That's extremely motivating to do. And know that you are able to accomplish that feat that so few men in this world are able to do. But they could do if they just applied a little bit of effort. It's not even like it's crazy difficult. It's not like performing heart surgery. It does take some technique, but it takes action. It really takes action to do it. And once you start getting those results, you just fall in love with doing it. And you're probably gonna continue doing it for the rest of your life, or at least till you get pretty old and you just don't feel like doing it anymore. But you're gonna fall in love with it, just like I did and so many other guys that I work with. So once again, guys, if you really want to fast track how long that it takes for you to reach abundance in dating, click the link in the description and we'll see if my personal mentorship is a good fit for you. If so, then I will help you out and we're gonna make some rapid growth within weeks. So make sure you book in a call. Link is in the description. But that's all I have for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope this was a bit motivating for you. I'll see you guys in the next video.